Welcome back to Inside the Hive. I'm Ashley Hetherington, and let's talk swimming and diving. The Jackets raced against Hiram College last Saturday, and even though the men and women's teams didn't get a victory as a whole, there were still a number of outstanding individual performances. Some of these athletes you've been hearing about from week to week, but a few others are making their first ever debut on our show. For the women's side, Alicia Hoopingarner and Jacqueline Loke each posted a first and a second place finish for the Jackets. Emily Bolin is staying true to her last week's title of OAC Swimmer of the Week by taking victories in all three events she competed in. Along with her two events, Bolin teamed up with Jacqueline Loke, Alicia Hoopingarner, and Miranda Boehner to claim a first-place finish in the 800-meter relay race. Coach Dixon joins us. Coach, two new names have popped up with strong performances this week, Miranda Boehner and Will Johns. I'm sure they were so excited about how they finished their races. But how does it feel as a coach to see your team improving all around?
I think each swimmer can improve every meet, so it's good to see those swimmers actually get victories on the men's and women's side. That brings their confidence up a little bit more. Their times have been improving. Will's coming back from injury, so that's good that he's come back and had a good, strong performance in really his first meet of the season. He came and participated in one other meet, but he had to leave early, so it was good to see him get his feet wet and get good times in that meet. And then Miranda starting to stick with it now that cheerleading's over, and you can see the times dropping down, and we've been working on a lot of things in practice, and I think her future is very bright.
Last week, you mentioned that Hiram's pool was a little different than what your team is used to. Can you explain those differences?
The Hiram pool is in meters, which is older pools are normally built to meters, and we race always yards now. So with the Y pool being yard pool and this one being meters, it makes it a little bit longer to race. So it's more of a home pool advantage for Hiram since they were used to it and they train in that sort of element. We just had to concentrate on finishing our races and not giving up when we think the race is over because it's a little bit longer and they have to get used to that. So it's a good preparation for meets for conference later on so we can finish all our races.
So, we just got back from a decently long break, and I'm assuming that most of your team went home. So I'm curious, what do you encourage your team to do to stay in shape while they are away for so long?
They got a full week off over Thanksgiving. After the Hiram meet, we took a full week off, came back this past Sunday to start training. Over break, I send workouts out to them. If they can get to a Y pool or if they can get to their home pool and do the workout, I encourage them to do that. But a lot of them go back and they train at the old club and high school teams. And this is really encouraged because that's with their peers and they have competitive levels that they can race with and train even harder. So we try to get over Thanksgiving break. I hope that they get 3 or 4 practices in, and then we have 3 weeks off at Christmas, and I'm hoping that they train 3 or 4, if not 5 times a week for each of those weeks of a Christmas break. So training still is high, and the intensity level still needs to be there, and they have to be mentally prepared to go home and train and get to that pool every day.
Now for the men's team. Dylan Texter won all 3 events he competed in, one being an event he hadn't even competed in all season. Texter's impressive day helped him claim the title of Ohio Athletic Conference Swimmer of the Week. Coach, along with Dylan receiving that honor, Emily was also named OAC Swimmer of the Week last week. How does that feel to have back-to-back titles within your team?
I think that brings a lot of confidence to the team to see that we can compete with these schools that have been here in the conference for, since its existence, that we can come in the first 4 weeks have 2 OAC Swimmers of the Weeks. Shows a lot about what this team has. We may not have the numbers that these other teams have, but we have a lot of quality and we have a lot that we're competing at practices and competing in meets to show that we are a team to reckon with at the OAC Championships.
Thanks, Coach. Will Johns and Ben Rubiscus also had strong performances at the meet, each of them taking a first-place finish in their individual events. Last but not least, freshman diver Jacob Stuber placed second in the 1-meter dive and first in the 3-meter diving competitions. His overall score for the day was his personal best as a Yellow Jacket. The Jackets' next race will be December 3rd when they travel to Urbana. Well, that's all for me today. I'm Ashley Hetherington, and thanks for tuning in to Inside the Hive.